position is essentially to prevent, promoting genocide, killing a person, all the person who happens to declare themselves transgender, to advocate the killing of another one. This is about genocide. You asked me to vote against this. I have a moral problem with your request today. I tell you, at least then genocide. To accept that we would promote genocide, advocate the genocide of gay people, to advocate the genocide of your position.
So perhaps I read the bill too late at night and I was tired, but I didn't get the feeling that when I read the bill that it only dealt with genocide. Because if it dealt only with genocide, I would probably be in a better position to argue for that protection, since I come from Lebanon and I'm a Jewish person. So I probably know about religious persecution much more than you do. But I didn't get the feeling that this bill was only about genocide. When Jordan Peterson was when people were trying to get Jordan Peterson fired from the University of Toronto as a highly esteemed psychologist, it's not because he was arguing for the genocide of transgendered people. It's because he argued that I don't wish to have someone impose upon me the pronoun by which I should be addressed. And I gave you numerous other examples whereby, in my own understanding of the bill, I would be in transgression of that bill because I would be exhibiting bias towards the transgendered. By arguing, for example, for sex differences when it comes to mating behavior and not recognizing the panoply of other personhoods, I would be engaging in systemic violence. So I don't need to be lectured about the importance of genocide. No reasonable person would support such a possibility. But I'm not here to argue for genocide. I'm here to argue about the details that got Jordan Peterson into hot water and would likely get me in hot water.
Ms. Meyer, do you want to briefly respond?
Yes, I would like to add that Bill C-16 is not just about genocide and, the idea of, well, we need to add this because someone may advocate genocide towards trans people. Well, first, transgender or even transsexual, none of those are mentioned in the bill. It's gender identity and gender expression. I've already made very clear why I don't like those terms. Where are we going to stop? Should we include, weight of people? Should we include fashion sense of people, which we already will with gender expression? I mean, where will we draw the line that, because I can divide the world into as many subgroups and identities as I want and then advocate for genocide towards one of them. People who are teal.
Thank you, Senator Oliver.
Thank you. I'm struggling with which question to ask, and I'm going to try and take it in a different direction. Either one of you, and I don't remember who, said that gender expression and gender identity is in the mind, and you can't regulate and codify what's in the mind. Well, I would say that religion is in the heart, in the spirit, in the mind. And yet we provide protection to people, and you've spoken about religious persecution. We provide protection to people who practice for the practice of their religions. So I'm having a hard time figuring out this notion that human rights are only to be expressed in expressions of tangible identity. And you mentioned transsexuals. You can get it checked. You can get it verified, validated with the doctor. I'm just wondering what your response to my trouble with this position is.
Yes, well, I don't believe gender identity is something that exists only in the mind, but that is how I'm saying that the term has been defined by the Ontario Human Rights Code, which has set that precedent, by Minister Wilson-Raybould, who is the sponsor of this bill, has defined it as something that exists only in the human mind. Now, not in so much words. She said it's one's subjective sense of being a man, a woman, both or neither. That is internally contradictory. It is vastly broad. And once again, like religion, at least you can say, people congregate as a religion, they pray. There are churches and mosques. It is not something that exists purely in the mind. Maybe something like spirituality is. So I don't think that there are necessarily comparable in the way that gender identity thus far has been defined.